In this video, I'll discuss Q4 FY25 result and Concall of Ethos. So Ethos is a multi-brand luxury watch retailer. They mainly buy watches from the luxury brands from the Switzerland and other parts of world and sell it to Indian consumer. So if we see if we look at the ASP of Ethos, average selling price of Ethos, it is around 2 lakh rupees. So 2 lakh rupees for a watch is a luxury thing, and demand for the luxury watches are good in all over the world and also in India, because we all look at the luxury watches like over 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh watches for an investment perspective, because their value gets more and more in the future. They do not depreciate by the time. So there is a good amount of demand of luxury watch in India, UAE, Dubai, in America, UK and all. And they also have a another division of pre-owned watches. The luxury watch, as I said, people buy their watches because as an investment, because the value of the watch appreciate by the time, and when he want to sell, they can sell to Ethos. And again, if anyone go to Ethos, they can buy a secondary or pre-owned watches. Okay, so that is the thing. So if we see where Ethos is present in India, they are mainly present in the all big cities like Kolkata, Delhi, Bengaluru, Ahmedabad and all, because the luxury watch market is bigger in the main cities, metro cities. Okay, and they have total 73 boutiques. Out of 73, some are multi-brand boutique and some are mono-brand boutique, where only one brand is sold. Okay, that is the company overview of Ethos. And if we talk about the result of Q4 FY25, let's start with the sales numbers. So they reported a sales of 300 crore with a growth of 23% year on year in Q4. So if we look at the past of Ethos, they always grew by 20-30%, in the range of 20-30%. They always grew by around 20 to 30%. That is their consistency, and they are consistently doing this. And if we see their guidance also, they are talking about 10x in the next 10 years. So the CAGR is around 26%. So they are executing their plans very well. So that is the sales number. And their pre-owned category started in last few years. That is really a new segment for them, and pre-owned segment grew around 30% year on year in this quarter, and pre-owned segment is showing a good amount of growth in the last quarter also. That segment grew by around 30%. So yeah, pre-owned segment is consistently growing by 30% for year on year. So there is a good amount of growth in this segment. And if we see the volume growth for Q4, that is around 20, sorry, yeah, that is around 15%, and last 15% in FY25. In FY25, they grew their volume by 15%. So volume wise there is also a good amount of growth. And in ASP if we see, they have a growth of 7%. So if we calculate volume plus ASP, then it is 22%. So they are again in a good position. Okay, so they are showing a good number in terms of sales. And SSG also, if we see triple SG number, that is 17.4% in FY25. Last year it was 16%. So they have improved their SSG number year on year. That is a really good sign for a company, that the SSG number is growing, because we always see the SSG always keep coming down as the stores are getting mature. But here Ethos is increasing their triple SG number. So that is really good for a company, for any company, that is good. Okay, and if we see the market condition, what the management is saying, they said that in India we do not see any kind of impact on the demand. Okay, and they seen a very good April in this Q1 FY26. So yeah, there is no problem in the demand side. There is a fair enough demand. And if we see the results also in the past, the company have shown a really good sales growth number and really consistent sales growth number. That is that says that how the demand are in India. Okay, and if we see the store expansion number, they have 73 stores as on Q4 FY25, and they are saying that they will set up new 25 boutique in FY26. So the store growth is also around 30%. So that is also a good enough number. So that is the store expansion or the boom. They said that they are not saying, they always mention boutique, not store. So both are same, store and boutique. Some company call it store, some company say it boutique. Because if you see the boutiques of Ethos, they are really luxurious. The store vibes are really beautiful. There is, you can feel it. If you go to a Ethos store, you can feel it, the luxury in those stores. That is why the 33% growth what they are expecting in the next FY, that is really good, because per store expense is very high because of the luxury of those stores. So they also ventured into a jewelry segment in this quarter, and they are saying that the jewelry segment have more margin than the watch segment. So they also can get a uptick in the gross profit margin also. So they ventured into the jewelry segment, luxury jewelry segment. It is not like Kollan or P.N. Gadgil. They are more in a luxurious category. Okay, and if we see the gross profit margin in this quarter, they recorded a gross profit margin of 31%, year on year increased by 180 bps. So if we look at the past also, they are around 30%. They have around 30% of gross margin, and they are also guiding us for a 30% gross margin in the future also. Okay, and EBITDA margin, they have reported a EBITDA margin of 15.2%, EBITDA margin also increased year on year by 100 bps. So in terms of EBITDA margin also they are getting a good amount of EBITDA margin. But when we talk about the PAT, sales grew by 23%, but PAT grew by only 8%. They reported a PAT number of 22 crore 75 lakhs. So there is a slowdown in PAT. In the last quarter also, PAT growth was around 16% against our sales growth of 26%. So if we see the PAT growth, that is a concerning thing. Only concerning point in Ethos is the PAT growth, because if we see they are expanding, okay, and if we look at their boutiques, those are really luxurious, okay, and per boutique cost should be really good amount of per boutique cost. So in that point we can accept that the PAT growth might be slow because of the expense they are doing, because they have a long way to go. India as a country have a long way to go in terms of the HNI, in terms of the middle class going to the upper class category. So Ethos have a really very long way to go, okay. They are saying that they are targeting 10x in 10 years. So long term consistency cannot be gained by a short term gain, okay. So we have to accept that thing, that the Ethos is expanding. In this year also they will open around 25 stores. So PAT in FY26 also may be in a lower side, PAT growth. And here is the only one point, but one thing is positive, that they have a good amount of sales growth, because in a consumer company, if there is no sales growth, then it is a problem. But if there is a sales growth and consistent sales growth, then all of your cost which you are doing in terms of sales, in terms of buying of inventory, in terms of boutiques, stores, all will be there. But if sales growth keep going up, then they will get a operating leverage in the future, like in next 2-3 years they can get a operating leverage. So that is the point. We have to see how the company manages their cost in the future. Now they are expanding, that is all right, because if you do not expand, how will your sales growth will be going up, sales will go up, then it is no point, okay. But see, one thing is, if we see Anand Rathi's management also, they also say that we will not get much operating leverage in next few years, because long term growth cannot be gained by a short term gain. So that is the point with Ethos. So I do not see any kind of problem in Ethos, but yeah, PAT growth, we have to track the company, that where the PAT growth will grow, and then we have to decide that how much allocation we can do in Ethos. So all of that. So they are doing a good amount of good work in terms of sales growth, margin. They are doing it consistently. So that is the point with Ethos. I do not see any kind of problem with Ethos, but yeah, we have to track it. So that's it for the video. Thanks for watching.